something you dislike, something you do like about wedding content creators, and where do you think it's heading in the future?
It's so fucking hot. You're lucky I'm wearing clothes today. So uncomfortable.
I'm glad you're wearing clothes. Because I'm always shiny at a wedding. I'm like a bowling ball. But I put it.
That's great because I can use your head as a reflector. The rise of the tension between wedding photographers and content creators in the wedding industry.
It was between $1,500 and $1,800 for a content creator. It's like fast food.
It's like fast food.
It's not good for you.
Yeah, but this is the thing.
But you can get it. I did just get back from Bali, and I'm not sure if you've urinated out of your back end, but I can officially say that I now have done that.
And we did buy him stuff all the time.
It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good. All right, we're back. We're back in black. We've got our mic arms now, which is a lot more comfortable. Thank you for bringing coffee. I appreciate it. It's my second coffee of the morning, and I'm not sure it's a great idea because I did just get back from Bali, and I'm not sure if you've urinated out of your back end, but I can officially say that I now have done that. Welcome to Bali.
Wow, what a start.
Yeah, it's wild. Still got stomach pains. It was an amazing trip, but my golly, Bali belly is not something to muck around with.
Bali belly is no one wants Bali belly.
Have you got it?
Yeah, it's not nice. I didn't get it. No, I haven't had it in Bali. Sorry. When we were in the Philippines, I got real sick. But I did eat from a tin shed and trying to be like
hip.
Yeah,
I'm going to eat from the local areas.
Fuck it. I'm always really paranoid about that stuff. And I was like, Josh
you
wanted to go
people,
there.
I could, half the places in Bali, I thought you would not eat here.
No, well, we went swimming with the whale sharks, and then there was they have all the site. They would have it in Bali too, like all the little sheds with families that just cook and then sell, and it costs like $5 for like a meal and
$3.80 for a main meal. You're like, I'm not sure this is a good idea.
And I was like, oh, far out. Anyway, I tried it and then I ended up really sick. So there you go. Won't be doing that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not nice, is it?
Not good. There's a video of me. The boys are just recording me next to the pool, and I'm vomiting so violently that my back is arching. I've never had the pain that I felt having Bali belly in my life. Look, it was excruciating.
Do you know what it was from?
Well, on the second to last night, we went to this amazing restaurant called Mozzarella. So it's on the beachfront in Seminyak.
Mm.
Absolutely stunning restaurant. And the thing about Bali is the water's really bad.
Yeah.
So the water's contaminated. Even the locals, I'm pretty sure most people that live there don't drink the water. They buy bottled water. And I decided to have, what was the dish that I had? I got portobello mushrooms.
Yum.
As an entree, right?
Delish.
Before I had my spaghetti carbonara in Bali, because I'm a real, I wanted to get a taste of the local food, and so I had portobello mushrooms, which were absolutely amazing. But after I got violently ill, I realized that vegetables soak up a lot of the water in order to obviously grow. Yeah. I'm not sure if that would be the problem. I don't know. Let me just say this, probably a little bit too. I hope it's not the morning for you listening to this, but when I emptied my stomach, it was mushrooms.
Lovely. Oh, wow.
Whoever was considering booking us for their wedding has now officially got us off their list. But
it's not fun. Look, I'm going there in a couple of months, so I'm learning from your mistakes, and I was already going to be extra vigilant. You can't even brush your teeth with the water. Like, you have to do bottled water.
See, I didn't realize that.
That's probably what it is then.
And when you're having a shower, like we were in amazing villas. Like we were having showers and stuff, and like you'd use body wash, all this kind of stuff. You came out, and what it actually feels like for the people in Adelaide is if you've ever swam in the Murray River, when you get out of the Murray River, there's this like textured feeling to your skin. That's exactly how it feels like to shower in Bali.
Pretty much. But you can't. Well, that's why I was saying to Josh the other day about the boys. I'm like, can I take their mouth shots when they're shut when they're in the shower? Like, how do you stop them?
I thought about this.
Opening their mouth.
Yeah, but I think it's a good thing not a good thing to get sick in Bali. No. But a lot of people say once you've had it, you've had it. Well, it's kind of like getting the flu here,
If you go back to Bali, you could absolutely get it again.
I'm not sure if I want to go back, to be honest with you.
That second coffee is probably going to sit real well, but it's so
you've grabbed me a second coffee. And
I realised this morning that I don't know if you're not old enough, but like I was always those people that are like old and they can't function till they have their first coffee. I realized that was me this morning.
Yeah, everyone's parents when you were like 10 years old.
But like I was fucking grumpy as until I had that sip of coffee, and I didn't have it till like 10 o'clock this morning, which is very late for me because I got my eyes tested.
Well, it is a drug.
It is a drug. And I was like, I don't want to have a coffee before I get my eyes tested because I have real paranoid about that stuff. So I'm like, no, I'm going to wait.
You don't want to have a coffee before you get your eyes tested?
Because people are this close to your face. I don't want them to have like coffee breath. Ew. Anyway.
Oh, you're worried about you having coffee breath. Okay, I understand.
So then I got the coffee after on the way here, but I was fucking agitated this morning. I don't know if it's that, but maybe it is. Like I love my coffee.
Yeah.
On that though, just side note, I realized this morning that I have a serious problem with people pleasing. I just, again, got my eyes tested. The lady after the optometrist saw me, came to she's like, oh, she'll help you pick some frames. Anyway, normally they let you just go browse your frames and then tell you what you want, right?
You had someone be like,
she was over my shoulder, but like, not in a bad way, lovely, very helpful. But I'm like, I felt so much pressure to just pick something because when someone's like that for me, she's like, oh, these ones are good, you should get them. I'm like, okay, sure, purchase. I literally have 2 pairs of glasses now that I'm stuck with for 2 years probably because I couldn't say no. I'm like, I didn't want to offend her. I couldn't be bothered. I felt uncomfortable. I'm like, let's just get this done.
See, in those situations.
So bad.
I feel like I'm quite an introverted person, but in those situations, if I'm like having to make like a serious decision like that, I will literally say, I'm going to please look at these on my own.
See, I would never.
I can't. And usually they'd respect it because you're like, you just tell them honestly why you want to do it on your own. Otherwise, you just feel like, it feels like a content creator is over your shoulder.
I felt.
Anyway.
Good one. But yeah, I was like.
On topic.
Fuck. I was like, this is not good. I've done it a lot lately where I'm like, I can't. Like, you know, there's people who can like barter for stuff. Like, can you go to, Bali's extreme, but like you go buy something, I don't know, like a TV. Or can you do it for this price? I can't do that. I'm like, can I give you an extra $100?
Hold on. How's those people that go to places like JB Hi-Fi?
Everybody does it.
No, I don't do it.
No.
I'll pay full price. No, thank you very much. Don't
I'll
talk
give
to me.
you $100 bonus.
Yeah, if you don't annoy me, I'll give you more for the same product.
We don't have to communicate and talk.
But
Take my money.
I know people
where
they'll be like, oh yeah, it's a really nice TV. There's the same brand and another company. Can you do us a better price?
Yeah,
and I'm like, my insides are like, ugh.
See, that's how
just go to the other place.
No. See, my partner's like that. He can do it. I can't. I cannot do it. Yeah. But I respect it. It's like, how much money do you save? I'm just like, clearly. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll probably overspend.
I did realize everything. I did. Even the camera shop the other day. I went to buy some memory cards and the guy was just like, oh, he didn't even tell me how much they were. And they only had, long story short, I got them, I paid for them. I'm like, fuck, I've overpaid by probably twice as much. I could have got them cheaper across the road, but I didn't even ask you how much they were.
By the way, camera gear online from places like DigiDirect and Amazon are so much cheaper than in person.
Well, my new cameras take...
How much? Hold on. Tell everyone how much your memory cards cost.
It's disgusting. I feel sick.
What are they called?
They're XQD cards. So they're like, my new mirrorless camera takes them. So you have to have them. Like there's 2 slots. And the dumb thing is XQD and SD, thank God, because then I don't have to buy 2.
Yeah.
So like my backup is an SD. But these cards are like... I physically I was talking about
$600 per card.
I bought 2 on Friday, only 128 gigs, not even huge.
Yeah, that's actually small.
Fast as fuck though, but 128 gigs because I don't like having big cards. I always have smaller ones. It's just a mental thing for me. But anyway, $1,000 for 2 memory cards.
That's wild.
$1,000.
That is wild. And 128 gigs, like I have 2 256 gig cards in both my cameras.
Yeah.
I've got all 3 of them.
You can reuse them. Obviously, I use them all the time. But like on Saturday, you went through 3. So
and
you obviously need them rotation.
You need like a USB-C card reader for them as well. Yeah, so I buy a
new card reader.
And usually they jip you with that as well.
Look, to be honest, it makes my life a lot easier because it copies in seconds. Like it's so fast. But fuck me. Anyway. That's another story.
What else has been happening? What's been cracking? I've gone to Bali, obviously.
You had fun.
It was amazing. Bali was one of those trips where, like, I went with three boys, Jack, Will, and Zach. And
how did you go? Did you come to peer pressure at all, or did you just go with it?
Did I succumb?
Well, because I got a couple of videos from you. I was like, "Who the fuck is this?"
I can't share much.
I was
of
like,
the trip.
firstly, you sent me a video of you sculling an espresso martini. I'm like, I put a fucking fireball show in front of you, and you get drunk off the fumes.
Yeah. When you're in a different country, it's different though.
Yeah. Did you?
I had a couple of people message me and they're like, "You never drink with me."
Yeah, I did get. Oh, that's what went through my head.
Really?
Yes. I was like, "You asshole! You would never do this with me."
Yeah. Okay.
No, but go. Like, good for you. Have fun. I'm not gonna lie. I was
but I'm in a different. I feel like I'm in a different country.
Yeah, but like I was very concerned. I'm not gonna lie. My mum Karina came out with one message because I was like, "Oh my god, Brad, you're gonna end up in some fucking Balinese hospital," and I bet you didn't get travel insurance.
No, I didn't get travel insurance.
Okay, good. But I was like, fuck, you're going to literally be there because I know how you handle your alcohol.
The wild thing is, like, we were getting like 2 cocktails for 12, like they were like $6 a cocktail and they were violently alcoholic.
That's the problem overseas. When we went to Philippines, we were drinking like, I reckon you'd go to the 7-Eleven and we got these like girly
the 7-Elevens are dangerous. There's alcohol at the 7-Eleven.
Alcohol at the 7-Eleven. And I reckon they were like $2.50 and they were 8% drinks, which is so dangerous.
Yeah, it's bad.
But it was great, like 2 drinks and boom. But yeah, I was a bit worried about you. But anyway, you look like you had fun.
And I realised how, like, I don't know what the ratio is from, like, you know, how much they get paid to what cost of living is, but Australia is extremely expensive.
Oh, it is, yes.
It's very expensive.
But if you put it into perspective, because we had this conversation when we went to the Philippines, because everything is so cheap, it's terrifying. Like, we went, I reckon Josh played a round of golf and I was just a caddy sitting in a car having a little Filipino woman drive me around. It was lovely. But like we then had lunch.
Didn't sound good.
Yeah, it didn't at all. But like while after we played, we sat at the golf club and had lunch. It was a really nice fancy golf club. And we had like 3 main meals, a couple of beers, a couple of soft drinks. It was like $25.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It is stunning. And it does make, like, I've got a few friends that are actually moving to Thailand. It's a surprise, so I can't say who it is. But there's a couple of friends of mine that are moving to Thailand, and they're doing it because I think, you know, for they're holding crypto and things like that. So when in Thailand, if they cash out of it, they don't pay capital gains. But the point that I think the bigger point is, like, they've got a kid and everything. So like they're going to Thailand, and they were explaining like the cost of living, how much cheaper it is over there and whatever. But if you save up some cash and you move to one of these countries, you can live really nicely for not much.
If you put it into perspective of what you earn and that sort of thing too, like we had a private driver in the Philippines, and he earned shit money. Like for what sort of. In his other job, he was telling us we majorly overpaid him, but
that's nice.
But it was, absolutely. Yeah. Like it really is a very humbling experience because it's like, wow, we are very privileged.
Yeah.
But point being, like they don't earn much, so how they live can't cost much, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like it's all relative to wherever you live.
I was trying to work that out because we paid our driver. It was something like, I don't even know, $35 a day.
Nothing.
And we paid him more.
Yeah.
But you look at that and you kind of go like, how is this working? Yeah. How are you paying your rent? But
then that's right. So like our driver there, he shared a house with his entire family. Like he actually took us there. It was actually a really cool experience. It's hard to see, I'm not going to lie, because you walk in and their beds are like literal wooden boards almost, and their kids are sleeping, like 3 kids in one room. It's like, fuck, but they're so happy.
Yeah.
Like that was nice too.
While you sip on a cocktail.
Yeah, I know.
At the golf course. Having a little Filipino drive you around.
While he was waiting in the car for us until we were done. We did package up the leftovers and give it to him though. And we did buy him stuff all the time.
It doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good. Move it on.
But anyway, I'm not sure where we will go with that, but it's fun. But
Golly.
Okay. So what else has been happening? I don't know. I'm in a wedding I don't know. I'm in it at the moment.
Mm.
Like, great. It's really good. But
Talk to me about it.
Yeah, no, I'm just like back-to-back weddings every weekend. So it makes me happy. Makes me a little stressed when I look at my editing backlog. But like it is, I've missed it because I had a couple of years where I didn't have it that much. But we're obviously back in the swing of things. And yeah, it's like one wedding's done and then you get ready for the next one. But like I've had some bloody good weddings, and that's the one thing I will say. The couples I've had, the weddings I'm doing are definitely back to me, if that makes sense. Like my style, my vibe, what makes me happy shooting, and just I love it. I really do love it. And we've been to some really good venues. Like the wedding I had on the weekend, 6 of my couples that I've shot were there. How cool is that? Like,
yeah, that's stunning.
So
that's
good.
Awesome.
So it's like the same group of people.
Posted that? Yeah, you did post it.
But it was just cool experience to sit there and be like, wow, like you just see all these people. It's like, oh, I've done that. And it's just fun. Like, you're so
sometimes
lucky.
it can be very fleeting. You know, sometimes this industry can be like, you know, you see a couple on your computer screen for, 3 weeks at a time. And, you know, there is so much time that goes into their photos or their films. You see that, from the start to the finish, you see their whole family on your screen, and you're doing all the family photos, you're doing the photo shoot, you're doing the reception. And then you kind of get to the end, you deliver it, and it's amazing. You're like, this is amazing, that you get really good feedback, but then it just kind of disappears.
And then they go away.
But then to get a photo like that, it was really cool because if you were to collectively put how many hours you put into each of those couples.
Well, even that
incredible.
week, I was literally editing one of the weddings, so I was staring at their faces all week, and then I saw them at the wedding. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like,
was
it was
that
just
our
nice.
couple that we shot? Yeah. There's due soon. We're going to get that video out.
Get your move
I love
on.
it. I'm excited.
But yeah, it was fun, and it's nice to get back into it, and just be busy. But like we know, wedding season, it's all or nothing for us.
Yeah.
So it's like you're in the thick of it now.
We're in the deep end. March is going to be insane.
Deep end, and then it'll taper off, and then we'll just be editing till
we're
forever.
Officially here. All right, should we get into it? The question of the week, Karina, can you remember what it is?
Yes. So this week we want to talk about the rise of tension between wedding photographers and content creators in the wedding industry. This is a bit of a hot topic here at the moment.
It is. I've spoken to. I remember I was at one of those wedding kind of like what do you call them? Those get-togethers or whatever. And I was talking to a content creator, and I remember just pressing questions. I was like, "So what is the vibe like?" Because I hadn't ever worked with one before, and I just wanted to know, like, because me personally, whenever I'm doing a wedding, I'm in the zone. And I get into like a zone. And the reason why we started a company together is because who you work with is very important. And everyone will say that. Everyone won't, a lot of people won't be public about it. And they'll be like, no, I can work with whoever, whatever. That's fine. That's great. But every single photographer and every single videographer has a particular person or a group of people that they would prefer to work with.
Yeah.
And the reason why that's the case is because they feel most confident with these people, and it allows them to be in the zone and to work at their optimal without having to think. So
I think that's what it is. Like, we feel people don't really understand, I guess, not really understand, but wedding day is a fucking big deal. Like, there's a lot going on. And especially for us, there is a lot going on because we'll move from prep to ceremony to get set up to thinking about the next. Like, you just got to be on constantly, and you've always got to be thinking of what's coming. You got to keep an eye on the time.
There's very minimal time for error.
Very minimal time for error, and if there is, you got to think real quick. So, I guess for me personally, and especially working with you now, it's just good because that's kind of like the safety blanket, I guess. And if you're in situations where
and there's a routine,
it's a highly stressful, like, honestly, I don't feel stressed at a wedding. I don't at all. I'm comfortable, but it is a very highly stressful situation. So if you've got people around you that make you feel comfortable, that is a huge plus.
It's just
for
a bonus for our couples.
And
really.
Of course, like we work with whoever we work with. That's just the nature of the industry. But yeah, there are definitely vendors that make our lives a lot easier, and we love working with. So I guess the thing with content creators, it's just becoming very common. And I don't know, I've thought about this, and I don't know if it's just my age that's like struggling to understand. And I will be brutally honest, like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't, and this is absolutely.
You mean you don't get why someone, like a couple, would book a content creator?
Yes, but I can see both sides, and I absolutely respect their job. I absolutely respect their craft, what they're doing. they're running a business, they're providing a service. I get it. I really, really do. I think the issue that I have is that we've worked with a few recently, some brilliant, like great. A couple of experiences I've had have really, really affected my ability to do my job properly.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it's left a bit of a bad taste in my mouth, which is, I guess, I don't know if it's just we've been in the industry for so long, like you kind of know, like you and I get the fuck out of your way when I need to. You get out of mine.
Yeah.
We work together. If I need to be somewhere, and we sort of shadow each other. But, in this one specific wedding, I just had this person over my shoulder the entire fucking day. And I was like, ugh. And I guess the problem with that is that because it was such a hectic wedding, there was very restricted time frames, etc. I had people staring at these people's phones while I'm trying to take a photo. And then when I went back and edited and looked through them, I've got one person looking at this girl, one person looking at this guy, one person looking at me when I'm trying to get everybody to get the photo that I need. But again, like I said, I respect they also need to do a job too. So
there needs to be some kind of, like for example, we did one where we're in quite a tight space and a very tight timeline. It was not, we shortly after doing prep needed to go get ready for the ceremony and things like that. And, I've never had to say the words, excuse me. Yeah. Excuse me. And
so many times.
It just, then you see the bride was kind of like, look, just these small things where I'm like, I've never had to do that with you. I've never had to go, Karina, can you move? Can you move? But in this particular kind of, and it was, by the way, I just want to put it out there. It's not a negative thing. It's just,
no, not at all.
It does put me in a position personally where I've had to constantly consider someone else when doing my job, which I'm not used to. And it doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that we got to, I've got some stats and some stuff I want to read out. I don't know if you want to say something before I do.
I just think it's very much about like there's little things people don't realize that, I guess the thing with us is I've always struggled with having like a large media team for the type of couples that we tend to shoot. So for example, if you've got 2 photographers, 2 videographers, 2 content creators, and you've got all these cameras staring at people who hate having their photo taken, that's intimidating. Like that's not our approach to what we do. We want you to be comfortable, relaxed, enjoy the moment. And when you've got all these people on you, it's a lot. And I guess that day, like honestly, the amount of times I turned around during the ceremony and I nearly ran into this person with a phone, I was like, oh, it wasn't good. Like, and it flustered me and I was like, fuck, like I dealt with it obviously, but it's just, it didn't, I guess the thing is it jeopardized the quality of what I needed to produce.
Well, we pride ourselves, I think, as a team on being discreet and taking a documentary style approach.
Correct.
And it completely throws that out the window.
So I guess my thing is, before we go into the stats, is that I think if you're considering having a content creator, I would love to chat to them before the day or, kind of see what your approach is and what you're trying to get out of it maybe, because like I said earlier, I don't know if it's just because I'm fucking old, but it's like I don't understand why are they doing it? Maybe I need to educate myself more of what their packages actually consist of. Like, are they getting reels for TikTok or whatever? Like, it's fucking 2025. I understand that's what life's like now. It's all about socials and stuff too. But I guess it's just one of those things where it's like, you're spending a lot of money on us giving you what you're paying for. So, working with them together. And I will put it out there. I had one on the weekend, fucking brilliant, like great experience.
Yeah, you called me after it and you're like, hey, guess what?
Yeah, guess what? And it was really nice, like real helpful, lovely. Didn't know she was there half the time, like very discreet. Made things a lot easier because the couple weren't like worried about that.
This is not to name anyone, but bit more of a well-known Adelaide content creator.
Definitely. So, and I guess that's the thing that comes down to, like we've harped on about for years, you get what you pay for. So paying for this experienced company, which they knew what they were doing, And
this is where I've got some opinions, but they might be biased because the only time I've experienced a content creator is really, it's not been the best experience.
Yeah. I think it's just educate yourself on who and what, I guess. So, like I said, this company I had on the weekend, well known, again, knew what they were doing, made my life great. The products we both produced were really good. The couple were happy. Perfect.
Gives us hope.
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
All right, so I did a little bit of research and went on the interwebs on DeepSeek. The Chinese Communist Party's taken all my information, but it's given me some good stuff back. So I just wanted to read out some historical stuff, just when it comes to where the wedding industry is moving, and then we're going to go into some stats about wedding content creators.
This is going to make me want to retire.
And what the impact on wedding photographers are.
Oh, fuck.
Let's just go through it because I found this very interesting. It was something that I was looking at this morning because, I told you I would do the research last night and I didn't. I did it this morning.
Shocking.
But let's just get through it. So here we go. So the early 2000s and the early 2010s, blogs and social media became a thing. So in the US, platforms like The Knot in 1996 and Style Me Pretty in 2007 popularized wedding blogs with creators sharing DIY tips and vendor reviews. In Australia, blogs like Polka Dot Bride 2008 emerged, highlighting local trends and fostering a community of wedding enthusiasts. And as I was reading this, I started to think, this is actually interesting because I'm seeing these kind of things, but on Instagram and on TikTok. So,
and what's interesting is I was around for that.
Oh, God. See, I read them and I'm like, I don't even know
Polka
what
Dot
these
Bride,
are.
The Knot. I'm pretty sure I've advertised in a couple of those.
This is just going back to your early days. All right. So in the mid 2010s, Instagram's rise turned wedding photographers into early content creators with hashtags like #weddingphotography amassing 50 million posts.
Oh, my God.
Australian influencers like Mia Bella, I don't know who that is, Bridal began partnering with designers, blended content with creation and wedding planning services. In the early 2020s, this is kind of like my era for wedding stuff, TikTok launched globally in 2017 and it became a wedding trend hub during the pandemic with creators like The Wedding Planner, who have 2.5 million followers, viralizing micro weddings and bridal glam content. In Australia, #OzWedding has 1.2 million posts, driven by elopement photographers and videographers repurposing footage for reels and real-time coverage. Example, Instagram stories during ceremonies became a staple with 67% of couples under 30 prioritizing shareable wedding moments. So, I think about the other day we posted, I did a short post of us as a team kind of covering the start of a ceremony for Megan and Sam.
Video.
So Sam kind of broke down in tears as Megan walked down the aisle, and I've clipped a part of, our ceremony coverage with your photos, and that kind of went, ballistic on Instagram. So these are the things that it's kind of talking about when it comes to, couples are wanting to share those moments just as much as their, hero photo of them during the photo shoot.
Yeah, because it's real. That was real.
Yeah.
That's where I think I struggle, and I am a bit old school when it comes to this. Is that the whole thought of having someone creating content for me feels very. Oh, what's the right word? I'm going to get annihilated for this.
Choose it wisely.
It just feels very disgenuine. Like
ingenuous. Yeah.
Is that even a word?
I don't know. It sounded better. I don't know. Who cares? I know what you're saying.
Genuine?
I know what you're saying.
Not real. Just keep it simple.
Let me go through. Let's share our thoughts in a second. I'll go through statistics on wedding content creators in 2023. Okay. All right. So market growth. Global wedding services market is projected to reach $414 billion by 2030, with social media-driven demand accelerating the rise of wedding-specific creators. In the US, 58% of couples now allocate part of their wedding budget to hire a dedicated content creator for social media posts, reels, and stories.
Wow.
In Australia, 45% of newlyweds report using a content creator in addition to a photographer to capture casual or behind-the-scenes moments. That's pretty crazy stats.
See, that's different, though. I get that. So that's where I think it's different for me, is that if you're hiring a videographer to capture the moments we capture.
Right.
And then you're hiring a content creator who captures the exact same thing you're capturing.
It's
Because
just-
let's be honest, they're shadowing us. I literally have had a content creator say to me, I'm just going to follow you because you know all the good spots.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah.
But like, my point is that if you're capturing that moment and then they're capturing the same thing but on a phone where we've spent thousands of dollars and millions of hours trying to like perfect our craft, and then there's a person with a fucking iPhone over our shoulder capturing the same thing that we've set up and then posting it to social media.
My question is...
That's my problem. But if you're there like capturing behind the scenes footage, friends off having fun while we're off to the photo shoot, that's a different story
That's
altogether.
actually a very good point, because my question is, are you just paying for the speed in which these clips get delivered?
Back. Correct. So technically, that's a good business idea for us. But anyway, we'll chat about that later. Boom. This is what happens in my brain. Things just ding.
Like,
But-
are couples paying for
the speed
in which they receive videos? Because I'm pretty sure they airdrop it to the couple on the night before they leave, or something like that.
I do need to educate myself a bit
or
more.
they upload it to a Dropbox or something like that. Let me just finish these stats and then we'll get down to it.
How many stats are there?
So platform trends. TikTok's hashtag wedding talk has over 85 billion views, with creators sharing trends like first looks, vow writing tips, and dress reveals. Instagram's wedding hashtags, hashtag wedding inspo, hashtag bridal content, see 12 million posts plus, many from creators offering planning advice or vendor collaborations. Pinterest remains a top platform, which, by the way, I did not know this. Pinterest remains a top platform for wedding inspiration, with 80% of couples saving ideas for creator-led content. Now, I have zero content on Pinterest, just FYI.
That's a side note that just went off my brain too. We should be taking notes.
Yeah, this is...
Pinterest is one of the best advertising platforms for photographers and videographers.
Why don't I believe that? I don't believe it, but it must be, because it's telling me. I mean, this is the Chinese Communist Party just trying to fry my brain here. All right, and photographers' impact. 40% of US photographers now offer social media packages, example 30-second reels and Instagram stories, to compete with content creators.
Oh, that makes me feel ill.
In Australia, 35% of photographers report losing clients to creators who charge less for casual smartphone-based coverage.
God. Fuck it. I'm just going to say it.
Go.
Here's my problem. People are hiring content creators in place of videographers a lot of the times.
See, that's
Do you
offensive.
get that? No, it is. But I'm fucking serious.
I'm
because no, but this is what I don't...
See, I haven't seen this yet, right? So, like, I haven't been... Well, how am I going to know?
Well, I've been to a wedding recently where they had me and a content creator doing video. That's why my blood was boiling. As if, really? No, but this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying they're going to take over our jobs. I'm not worried about that at all, because what we do is very different. There is stuff we can produce that they cannot produce with an iPhone. However, it is, I guess, where my back gets up is people are jeopardizing the quality. I literally had an appointment the other day with someone who didn't have a wedding photographer because she got married like 20 years ago. She said it was her biggest regret ever because she doesn't have a single photo that from her day that she likes, and she doesn't remember it, and blah, blah, blah. Like, I genuinely feel that if you're just capturing stuff on video on your phone or photos on your phone, yeah, they're good quality, don't get me wrong. But it's not even about that. It's about we are trained and educated on what to do.
It's an iPhone.
Correct.
Yeah.
And unless
All right, let me just say some more stats and then we'll get back to some
trying to
opinions and we'll
fight
wrap this up. All right, so impact on wedding photographers, competition versus collaboration. So low-cost creators, amateur creators using iPhones and apps like VSCO, I'm not sure what that is.
Don't know what that is.
Undercut traditional photographers, especially for budget weddings. Now, I'm going to continue reading off some things before we get into it, but this is where I think the difference is I've got a cousin getting married and she's got a low budget for a wedding. She's not getting a videographer. Instead, she is getting a content creator. Now, this is a wedding that has a very low budget.
Which I respect that.
But absolutely. But this is where I think videographers, are quite an exclusive thing for people that have the money.
Yes.
In order to hire
Correct.
us. So if they are getting a videographer, I think it's highly unlikely they also get a content creator. I've barely seen
agree.
content
Yeah, I do
creators.
agree. Yeah.
And like you kind of said previously, I think there is a bit of a business opportunity for fast-paced content coming out, the week of their wedding.
I think that's the difference. Fast-paced. But this is the thing, again, where...
It's like fast food.
It's like
It's
fast
not
food.
good for you.
Yeah, but this is the thing
But
with
you can
like,
get it.
Our package... yeah, true. Our packages, do you know how many times I get home from a wedding? And this is where I get so frustrated sometimes with knowing what we can produce and hand over. Like, I get home, I fucking back up so that I can make sure you have 10 images the next day of your wedding that you can share. Like, people don't realize how fucking long that takes. You get home, you back up, you edit, you share. After doing 12 hours and you're fucked. But it is so important for me to be able to give that to you quickly. And it's quality, but quickly.
And it's exciting for the couple.
It's exciting for the couple. It means so much to me to be able to hand that over to you while you're in that like bubble of excitement.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
So that's the difference is the quality. And I'm not saying that content creators can't produce quality. And again, I'm going to be fucking annihilated for this. I don't hate content creators. I personally am just trying to... I've been in this industry for 15 years. I'm trying to wrap my head around how this all fits into things now. And I guess my back's just been put out of joint a little bit lately because of the experiences that I've had.
Well, I don't think the goals of what the people that I've experienced, it's not really established what they're getting. They kind of just, we're setting up these shots and doing whatever. If it was BTS, as in they went even behind us and got the BTS of us capturing the day, and then the bridesmaids are off to the left, laughing and whatever, and then they get that. That makes sense to me. But if you're just going to film exactly what we are capturing, I mean, wouldn't in my brain I go, why don't we just hire a BTS person, and do it all in house?
And that's where like I will put my hand up and I will say I need to educate myself and probably have a look at something that has been handed over because I've never seen what they get from a content creator.
Right.
Because that's in my brain is how I feel that's what you get. Because everyone that I've had... I have a feeling
after this podcast we might have a couple of content creators wanting to jump on the podcast.
No, absolutely. I'm all for it because I am all for fucking community over everything. I'm like, let's all work together. I love other vendors. I appreciate everybody's skill, time, what goes into your business. I really, really do. And I'm not saying everyone should just fucking back off because of us. That's not it at all. It's just trying to understand.
And to be clear, that's not our message.
No,
here.
God, no. Like, I'm just trying to understand why, like, obviously budget is an issue for a lot of people these days. So when I don't even know how much you pay for a content creator, but like,
I don't think it's cheap.
Yeah, I don't think it is either. So exactly right.
Especially hold on. I'm pretty sure that someone told me they paid, it was between $1,500 and $1,800 for a content creator, right? And they have...
hang on, excuse me, what?
Yes. And this could be incorrect. We got to dissect this. We probably should have come up with some information here. But if let's say it's $1,500. Let's say it's between $1,000 and $1,500.
Yeah.
Okay, for example, my cousin who was looking at one that was like a really budget wedding, she was looking at $1,200 for a content creator that wasn't a big one. And I think about it like this. I rock up to a wedding day with around $30,000 worth of equipment. If all I had to do was purchase an iPhone, my business model is terrible in comparison.
Shit.
What are we doing? What are we doing? Maybe we should just become content
creations coming soon.
All right, a couple of more things, and then I want to ask you a question about this. Changing skill sets, photographers are learning videography and editing tools like CapCut and Premiere Pro to offer Reels and TikToks. 62% of photographers say clients now expect Instagram-ready previews within 24 hours, which you were talking about previously. Cultural shifts. The US content-first weddings are rising, with couples designing ceremonies around viral trends, so choreographed dances and TikTok vows, blah, 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 things like that. In Australia, elopement content creators thrive in scenic regions like Byron Bay, promoting adventure weddings to global audiences. And then just at the end here, it's got some key takeaways. Photographers can expand services, day of social media coverage to align with creator-driven demand. Content creators blur the line between professional and casual, forcing photographers to differentiate their expertise. Weddings are now.
Yes.
That's a very good line.
I like that.
Last one, and then we'll get into some things. Weddings are now public performances, with couples valuing social media virality as much as traditional albums. I think that's your key point.
That's my thing. Agree completely, because this is, exactly what you just said. I think this is where I get frustrated, because it takes it from like not real to, it's just all about social and how they look. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
But casual and professional, that's the thing for me. Because honestly, people think that we're all together. The amount of times I've thought people think content creators are part of our business or whatever. So that, not that it's a problem, but it's like that's a reflection upon us as well. So if they're not, if we're both doing different things or, getting in someone's face or whatever, that's not what we do.
Yeah.
And that's probably what it is it takes it from casual to professional. Or
to give some context for people to understand what you just said by that is, for example, we were at a wedding with 2 content creators, and then there's 2 of us. So there's 4 people documenting this wedding, and a small formality like when the bride and groom or the couple are signing their marriage certificate should be a very intimate moment for the couple. I think that. I think it's kind of like they're sitting down. They've just had a massive thing where the bride's walked down. She's seen all her guests. It's the first time that the couple have seen each other, and then they sit down, and it's the first moment where say the venue comes up, gives them a drink, and they sit and they look at each other.
Take a breath.
There's some really good photo opportunities there as well.
Yeah.
And it's the first time they get to sit down and kind of just be like, oh my God, we just did it. Like we just got married. And for us, we were at a wedding with 2 content creators, and just picture this. You've got the couple sitting there with the 2, people to certify their marriage certificate. You've got the celebrant. And it's supposed to be an intimate moment. And there's us standing there, 4 people.
Yeah.
Capturing these people sign a document.
And I will take a photo and then step back for a minute and then come back in and then step back a minute.
I'll say this. I felt extremely uncomfortable because it just felt like I looked over at the ceremony looking at us, all the people sitting down kind of thinking like, why is there a whole team of people capturing this? And I honestly, like you said before, I felt embarrassed because I was like, I don't want anyone to think that when they hire us, they get a team of 4 people.
Yeah.
Because that's not what we intend to do. It's not what we want. But it is what it is. It's a different service, and they got paid for separately. And it's a completely different business. But for us, it looks like. Yeah. It just looks, if I was a couple sitting down, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to hire any of these people because I don't want it to be like that.
And but we don't want it to be like that.
We don't want it to be like that. So that's, if I just don't want to step on the tail of every content creator because you've had some good experiences.
Absolutely.
I've only had, a couple. So it's not,
and that's,
I don't have too much
I want to make that very
but
clear. I'm not saying I'm against content creators at all. I just need to understand a little bit better, I feel, as to what they're producing, because as I said,
what do you think? Okay,
on the weekend, I really do have to commend the person I was with because it was great, and the day was fun. Like, it was great. Didn't even know she was there half the time. Very helpful. Just did what I needed to do. The couple weren't distracted by it. It was good, but it was just the flip side of that, the other experience isn't like that. So
wrapping thoughts. Something you dislike, something you do like about wedding content creators, and where do you think it's heading in the future? For me personally, I feel like if a content creator was hired, in the times that we, for example, like prep and whatnot, like when we're with the one partner, then we're with another partner, it kind of makes sense for the content creator to be where we're not.
Correct.
Does that make sense to you?
I think again, even just talking out loud about this now, I do believe that's how I feel about it. I feel like content creators are very valuable for stuff like that, stuff that we are not getting. Yeah. You're paying us to do this, and then you're having someone shadow this. Right. And if it's just for the sense of you want it to be a bit more, casual and instant, that's fine. But like in my brain, I'm like, why don't you just get a fucking friend to don't do it, please. But why wouldn't you just get a friend with an iPhone to come and follow us? That's where I need to educate myself. Whereas if you've got someone who's completely external, not involved in the wedding, who are there capturing your friends and family at cocktail hour while you're off for photos that you're missing out on and not seeing, that to me is more valuable than having someone over your shoulder capturing the same video that you'll be capturing and paying for the same service essentially. And I guess it's just the quality of what we offer is being compromised by that. So
Well, okay, even if you were to flip it, it's not even like if you were to say, oh, don't even talk about quality. It's the attention of the people that we're capturing is
Yes.
completely getting
Taken
away. And,
Yep.
and it's kind of, or it brings attention where we don't need attention.
Absolutely.
So,
yes.
like for me, for example, the signing, they kept on looking up, and I'm like, stop looking at us. This is not what we want.
Us. Yeah.
So it is interesting. Look, I think we don't want to sound like two
Every
old
time I
bats.
rock up to a wedding now, the content creators be like, fuck, I'm working with her again. Please don't, because that's not what this is about.
But we're not speaking to those people specifically. We're
all.
speaking as a podcast to a whole of the wedding industry. So this is just how we feel.
It's just something to consider. Like we get thrown a million things at a wedding day, and it's just another thing, and it's fine. It's just we want our couples to have the best experience possible. And again, like I said, I just feel like lately it's been jeopardized by certain things like that, I think we just have to accept that this is where the industry is going. Absolutely. Like you said, there's trends.
It's absolutely
we're in a
going
social
in this
media
direction.
trend. And it happens everywhere. But I guess I've seen it on a personal level. I've seen it a couple of times where that stuff is being posted before their professional stuff. And it's like, well, why are you paying for us to do this? Because I think that you're right, exactly right. People
it's definitely
need the instant. It is what it is. But
And
anyway.
I mean, fascinating topic. And if you are a content creator that you have some thoughts, or you want to share it with us, or you have some comments, like let us know. We're happy to if you wanted to rebuttal some of the stuff that we're saying, we're happy to post it and just show the different perspectives.
Because there's always another side to it as well. Like they've got a job.
What we should do is ask our couples that they have had content creators, kind of like why.
Why? Absolutely.
Why?
Yeah.
But I'm not saying. Imagine if someone was saying that about our job. Like, why did you have a videographer? No. But our point is that this is new. This is new in Australia. And it might be a few years old, but it's definitely new. I mean, I've only come across one in my whole lifetime of doing this for almost 7 years. So, it's absolutely new, and it's something that we just wanted to have a chat about and kind of brain dump our thoughts on. And if you do, look, this is not an attack on content creators, if you are a content creator, or you're someone that has hired a content creator and you've got something to say, just message us. I'm happy to post it and just kind of get two different sides of the story here.
Yeah. What are you excited for this week, Brad? What's happening?
What am I excited for this week? I've got a friend's wedding on Saturday that I'll be doing.
Yeah.
I'll be shooting it.
Nice.
We're
separate again this week.
We are separate.
Getting a little bit anxious attachment to you at the moment. It's not good. My weddings. My last 3 weddings have been on my own. Only because we booked prior to when we started our business.
These are all weddings that
But it's good. I think that's a huge thing for us. Is when we're a team, it's just
it's fun.
It's fun. It's good.
It's a good time.
But we're back together in a couple of weeks. I think we've got a few coming up, which is exciting. But friend's wedding. What have I got this week? I've got a really fun wedding actually this week. Really cool couple up in Hundorf.
Where are you this week?
Kameda.
I'm in the city.
I'm in a new venue, city.
I'm in the city, but it's not even that. I've got to groom prep is on North Terrace, and bride prep's on King William. So's the ceremony and reception. And then we're doing the whole photo shoot in the CBD.
Oh, wow.
So the whole thing is
city. How fun for you!
I've never done that before. Like the whole thing being in the city. Yeah. Well, I'm going to park in one place, I think, on King William, and I'll walk to groom prep and then come back. But the whole thing is in the CBD.
Yeah, that's fun. No, my whole thing's all in one place too, but new venue, Kameda in Harndorf. I'm pretty excited. I've been there
that sounds cool. What is it called?
It's really cool. Kameda. It's like a little restaurant, but it's got a cool little venue, garden bit out the back. Really cool team. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I fucking hope it's not 40 again, but it's I
think it's going to be 34. Not too bad.
Bright. It's just brightness.
For those of you not in Australia listening to this, it is hot.
It is so fucking hot. You're lucky I'm wearing clothes today because it is so uncomfortable.
I'm glad you're wearing clothes.
That's not what I mean. Actually, because again, for those not in Australia, it's fucking 100 degrees. It
ridiculous.
Feels like it, and it's constant.
I'm constantly getting skin cancer.
Uncomfortable, even just getting dressed in the morning. It's awful.
By the way, quick note. By the way, what a question for people listening that do work in the wedding industry. What the hell do you do? I'm an oily person. Like my skin is
Yeah,
like oily.
If I had $1 for every time you ask me, am I shiny at a wedding?
Because I'm always shiny at a wedding. I look like a bowling ball. But I buy like this really expensive La Roche-Posay sunscreen, and like it's
need a
anti-shine.
matte.
It's matte. It is a matte one. Anti-shine. It says on there. Anti-shine, anti-glare. And I put it on, and I'm shiny and glary. I don't know what's going
because
on.
I can use your head as a reflector.
That's the most atrocious thing you've ever said about me, you piece of shit.
Sometimes when I need a little extra light bounce, I just get you to come standing.
That's actually rude. And you know what I'm sick of? Let me tell you what I'm sick of with you. I'm sick of with you. I look at my little phone to see if I'm shiny or not, and I know I'm shiny as shine can shine. And then I look at you and I say, hey, am I shiny? Because I just want to test our friendship. And you go, no, stop worrying about it. I literally have water leaking off my forehead. And you're like, you're fine. You'll be all right.
Do you know why? Because I need you to not lose style, Creedies.
We're wrapping up this podcast. Goodbye, everyone. Follow us at Brad and Karina Weddings on Instagram, www.bradandkarina.com.au for all our packages, pricing, and information. We will see you in the next fortnight. Ciao for now.